Okay, so we have disproved evolution and proved the global flood because all the fossils were buried by the same global flood. They were all buried together in the same event in the same year. So that settles that pretty much. Here we see an example of what a sediment layer looks like spreading across the continent, so that not only is it represented in the Grand Canyon, but all the way across the United States from Maine all the way almost to the west coast, up through the Rocky Mountains, up into Canada, all the way up into the Arctic. A single sediment layer, this is called the Tepete sandstone, is the first sediment layer after the great unconformity that we see in the sediment layers, because the great unconformity is where the global flood scraped clean all of the sediment layers that existed, or scraped it down to that level, the great unconformity, and then redeposited all the sediment layers above. And this Tepete sandstone layer is one of the first layers deposited on top of or after the great unconformity, or above the great unconformity. So, and all the other sediments are deposited on top of that, which are showing the different fossils or different animals that were living at the time of the global flood and subsequently buried, just like the trilobite animation that we just saw. So, and as far as people are concerned, after the global flood, after they were sure it was okay to step outside of the ark, then we have here a representation of the mtDNA. The mtDNA of the female line that was of the family trees of the female mitochondrial line, mother to daughter family trees of all the families of the earth, or where their maternal line originated from. And we can see they're highly represented in this central area here and spread out from there. I've been through it many times, more than I would like to have been through it, trying to explain this to people. Different families went different directions. Many of these families are the same family, same mitochondrial family tree. We have the Egyptus mitochondrial line, which is L1, 2, and 3, which is represented in these colors here. This is the mtDNA, by the way. So it's the L1, L1, 2, and 3, which is the mitochondrial, right? Maternal line. So we have see the L1, which this is all probably daughters of Egyptus, who is the mother of Mitzrayim, who is the founder of Egypt, along with his mother named Egyptus, who then had their families spreading out up the Nile River all the way into Africa, and the three distinct families here are L, M, and N. L is Egyptus, M is the wife of Japheth, and N is the wife of Shem, which has a large representation here for some reason. So so we can see how they all spread out through the world. I haven't been over this too many times, so I'm just going to go over this real quick, as quick as I can. The M, of course, is the Japhethite, which is highly represented in this Asian area right here, which is to be expected. The M. The C, which is this darker color, purple, which has a high representation in this Asian area, which is to be expected. The light blue, sky blue, which has a little bit of representation here and here, and other than that, maybe here. No, this would be another color, maybe. Other than that, there's not too many places where it's represented, this light blue area. But then there's this regular blue, which is highly represented all the way in Asia and all the way into South America. Of course, this would be the Japhethite. So it's highly represented in these areas here, along with this color here, which is the light color. I think it's this family, this part right here, that represented in this part of the world right here. Then there's the black, which is over here, and in some other places. This is all still Japhethite, along with the Q. The Q seems like it's only represented here, pretty much, in like say Papua New Guinea, whatever this is. And then it's the N. The N would be the Japhethite woman, so the rest of it is N, which includes Australia here, parts of here. Then there's the I. The I is where? Not to be confused with the Y chromosome. I. Anyways, it's a lighter purple. Not a real light purple. It's one of these. Anyways. This orange color represented in here. Up in here. This would be Semitic. And the A purple. I'm guessing would be one of these colors. This kind of darker color here. Then there's a gray color I don't see too much of over here in America. And of course this is all Semitic. The gray color here, this is also where they had the questionable R, which is basically the same thing as a Q of the Y chromosome, but they have the gray color over there. The Y color looks like it's here, not too many other places. Of course this is like all divided up, but it's all Japhethite basically. I mean, it's all Semitic, maternal, mtDNA line. Light blue, sky blue. Okay, this sky blue, light sky blue, or fluorescent sky blue, is to be expected. The red is a little bit unexpected, but it is what it is, you know. South America, North America, and this would be the representation for the Pacific Islanders. P P O Polynesians they call them. PO is Polynesians. So that represents the whole, all of Hawaii and all these Polynesians, basically. We have a lime green here, which is like a darker green. It's up in here. It's not out of the ordinary. A yellow color, which is a darker yellow. I don't see too much of it. It looks like it's here and here in this area, which is to be expected. Sky blue, which is in Europe, which is kind of surprising how much it is, but it's to be expected because Israel went north. We got a pink color, light pink here. That's not too much out of the ordinary. It's the same, basically the same as the H, or the same thing. Same basic family. We got a P, which is also in Australia. So Australia is highly represented with the Semitic mitochondrial DNA. A J, we got a T, which is all throughout Europe, which is the fluorescent green. And we have the purple, which is represented throughout Europe, which should be expected too. And the K is represented in Europe. And that's about it. So that's the distribution of the mtDNA, the maternal line family tree. So we have two family trees. We have the maternal family tree and we have the paternal family tree. This is the maternal family tree, highly represented where the ark landed. Each of the families went different directions as according to history. And the Egyptus descendants maternal family tree is exclusively found in Africa and nowhere else in the world, because Egyptus is the mother of Mitzrayim, who founded Egypt. When the Bible refers to Egypt, it refers to Egypt as Mitzrayim. So that is pretty clear. The Y chromosome I've been through many times before. It's to be expected. They want you to believe that A, which is this purple color, is what everybody descended from, according to one version. Another version has them trying to tell you that everybody descended from this E color, which is basically probably Mitzrayim, the E's. So, but at any rate, found out that the F belongs to the Semitic population, which comes next, G, H, I, J, and the K belongs to the Japheth population, which is LMNOPQR. Okay, and I can show that too. So, hoping the sound is a little better on this than the other time, the last time I did it, which I couldn't hear anything, so I deleted it. This is what they want you to believe. They want you to believe everybody descended from this person that they found, and they took his DNA test, and they want you to believe that everybody descended from him, even though he might not even had any kids, as far as we know. Or maybe he did have kids, but they're his kids, and we're not descended from him. The rest of the world, look at this, according to this, the rest of the world is descended from this guy that they swabbed and took his DNA test, and they want you to believe everybody else is descended from him, or his group, his family tree, which makes no sense whatsoever, because none of these family trees are connected here, none of them, not in this way. Each family tree is its own individual family tree. It's nothing like what it shows here. If you were to believe this, you'd believe that this guy that's still living today is the progenitor of everyone else in the world. which is nonsense. So much for that nonsense. See here, this is the reality. This is the actual Y chromosome phylogeny, family trees. Nobody descended from A. A family is out here by itself. Nobody descended from A. The B shot off on its own a long time ago, split from A long time ago. The B and the A both share the same root, which is probably Mitzrayim or somebody. And Mitzrayim, as I said, is probably this E. The C and the D aren't even represented in Africa. They went the opposite way, as I've covered many times before. C went all the way to the northern tip of South America, where it's found there. C also appears in places like Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and of course all over the place because of the Spanish explorers. We found out, according to this DNA evidence here, the F is exclusively in the Semitic family tree. This is a Semitic family tree which is Semitic, but it's not Abrahamic. This here is Abrahamic over here. This is the Jews and the Arabs and possibly the lost tribes of Israel, I'm not sure, maybe, but it's from the same family as Abraham. So, and this is what's represented in Europe, Scandinavians, the Vikings that invaded, and Anglo-Saxons that invaded England and are represented in England. My family's I from Scotland. So these are the rest of the Japhethites, which are Europeans basically. We've been through that as well. This here is proof of their lie. See, they say Y DNA Adam, this star here, they want you to believe everybody descended from this. They're calling this guy that they swabbed Adam, and they're giving him the allocation of A00, and they found another one that's A000 with this, which is totally absurd, because it started out with A1, then it's A0, then it's A00, now it's A000, trying to prove that we descended from that family, which is A, which is not even true, because I just showed that no one is descended from this family. No one. None of these other families have lines coming off of this family here. None of them. Nobody in the rest of the world have lines coming off of this family here. Not even B. B separated from this family a long time ago. Okay. And of course E is its own thing over there, which is probably Mitzrayim. Could be. C and D went the other way. Never appeared in Africa. So much for that. It just about covers it. Other than that, I've been through sediment layers before. I don't want to go through that again at this point. Let's see who we have here. Oh, we have Ronan here. Hello, Ronan. How you doing? Be it Ronan Kamushi. Or Kamunchi? Oh, Kanunchi. You are repeating yourself, explaining nothing. Oh, thanks, Ronan. Yeah, I'm just running through. Actually, I'm doing a sound check, to be honest with you. It's a good excuse to make a video, because the last one I tried to make was horrible. The sound was really bad. because I had the water run. The water was running and it was making all kinds of noise. No, the creek was making all the noise, and I wasn't even. You couldn't even hear what I was saying. And and when I went to go play the video, the sound didn't even come out. Yeah, take care, Ronan. Yeah, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Okay. Uh, which I don't do too many bad things that are wrong. Anyway, try not to do anything wrong because that's the what do you call it? That's the mandate is to be perfect and live forever. Not that you can be perfect and live forever, but God is able to give you the power and ability to do everything so that He gets all the glory for everything that you do right, which is hard for some people to understand, but it's His power. Everything is by His power. He gets all the glory. Nobody gets any of the glory. And He is able to make all grace abound toward you, so that you always, having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good deed. And this concludes the